Abused and brain injured. How mental health is part of the picture. The relationship between brain injury and intimate partner violence is complex. One of the factors contributing to that complexity is mental health. Survivors of intimate partner violence are more likely to experience mental health or substance use concerns than individuals who haven't experienced violence. The mental health or substance use can predate the violence or result from it, and often linger well past the survivor leaves an abusive situation. Individuals with brain injury are also more likely to experience mental health or substance use. Like IPV, brain injuries can worsen existing mental health concerns or result in new ones. So survivors of IPV with brain injury are likely at heightened risk. Complicating this picture is the fact that the symptoms of brain injuries often overlap with symptoms of many mental health concerns, and one can amplify the other. Anxiety and depression, which are commonly experienced together, can be both amplified by brain injury and a symptom of it, which can make distinguishing between the three difficult, particularly in IPV survivors. Post-traumatic stress disorder is also commonly experienced by IPV survivors, both with and without brain injury, although it is much more common with a TBI than without. Many characteristic symptoms of PTSD are shared with brain injury, including fatigue, insomnia, irritability, difficulty concentrating, and difficulty with memory. The overlap in symptoms between these mental health concerns and brain injury is likely contributing to the underidentification of brain injury among IPV survivors. One survivor told us, "Because I never considered I had a brain injury. I just figured it was just the stress I was dealing with all the time. I put it down to that more than anything, and I think most women do that are in those situations." If the symptoms are the same, why do we need to know about the brain injury? There are two main reasons it is important to identify if a brain injury is a possibility for IPV survivors. Brain injury can make mental health symptoms worse. Physical symptoms of TBI, such as headache, pain, and fatigue, tend to make depression and anxiety symptoms worse, and vice versa. If brain injury can be recognized and supported, treatment for depression might become more effective. Even if a survivor is unable to get treatment for the brain injury, the knowledge that these symptoms are complicating depression can be validation for both survivor and worker. That they're not doing something wrong or untreatable. They might just have more ups and downs as the brain recalibrates. Another survivor told us, "They treat the one thing that you're there for, and they don't look to see what else might be interfering or problematic, and maybe is causing that. So healthcare, I guess the doctors need to look more holistically." Brain injury can make normally effective treatments less effective. In addition to symptoms being exacerbated by brain injury, the cognitive and neurochemical changes after a brain injury can impact the effectiveness of both psychotherapies and medications. Minor adjustments to psychotherapies, similar to those you might make in other areas of supporting a survivor, such as encouraging written reminders or holding shorter sessions to account for cognitive fatigue, can make existing therapies more effective for survivors with brain injury. Medications also need to be carefully considered. For example, brain injury can increase risk of seizure, so providers may avoid medications that might also increase risk of seizure when treating mental health concerns, if they know about a possible brain injury. Understanding the connections between and overlap of brain injury and mental health is important both for survivors and frontline workers in all sectors where survivors might seek care. It might not be possible to pick apart what is resulting from brain injury and what is mental health. But knowing that there are multiple pieces to this puzzle is the first step towards validating the survivor's experience and identifying the care they need. It is important to remember that even if the injury happened a long time ago, we can still support survivors. Many women shared their experiences to help make this toolkit. They spoke about how service providers can make a difference, and how understanding what a traumatic brain injury is and how to accommodate it made a positive difference in their lives. Some survivor experiences have been shared. Here are some parting thoughts from a frontline worker. When women come in with mood dysregulation, when women come in with significant depression or anxiety, are you thinking intimate partner violence there? Are you thinking that maybe this is an injury to the brain that could be factoring in? I just don't think that's where people go. I think people go to trauma and the effect of trauma on the brain, and this has been a huge area in IPV. We all took a million different workshops on it. They're not actually thinking your brain has actually received physical damage, so I do think that that would be transformative. The research team would like to thank all the participants who shared their knowledge and expertise with us so we could begin to understand the intersection of traumatic brain injury and intimate partner violence.